Kadosh Boker or Masechet Batra Daf Bet Amud Aleph 102a1. Says the Gemara. If you remember yesterday, we were speaking about the entire concept of that. If you're going to find a few people that are deceased, so therefore, if you find them, it depends on the distance between them. Is it considered a shchunat hamet, which means is it considered like shchunat kavod, that they have like a burial place, right, or graveyard? So says the Gemara on Kubet Amud Aleph. He says if you're going to come and you're going to find three, if they have a distance of 4 until 8 amot, so therefore we said that means basically not less than 4 amot, but not more than 8 amot. So then it's considered shchunat kavarot. So it's going to be considered la graveyard. Ubodek. So now what happens is that you're going to start checking into it, right? To check after if there's extra, like extra burial plots, right? Mimenu. You have to go 20 amot. So it means you're going around looking for 20 amot. If you found one at the end of 20 amot, so then you have to check from there another 20 amot. Okay, why? Because we have raglaim ladavar. What does that mean? It's accustomed that if you found it from the beginning, you're going to come and you're going to take right whatever that it's there, and then you would actually move it away. So therefore, the rest of the place is going to be chazkatara. But now that you did find 3 metim, so therefore that means you found 3 bodies. So therefore, we're going to say that maybe bemet is considered part of beta kvarot. So therefore, you're not allowed to move it, and therefore you have to start checking for other ones as well. Okay, Amar More says, we said that it had to be from 4 amot until 8 amot. Mani, who is this? If you're going to tell me it's chachamim hamli 4 amot or 6, they already said that it's going to be 4 by 6. If it's going to be B'Shimon, he said 6 by 8. This is the amot, obviously. So it's 4 by 6 amot or 6 by 8 amot, right? Now he says, so therefore they're never going to be in less than 6 amot. So what's going on then? So says the Gemara, Leolam Rabbi Shimon, he really bemet is Rabbi Shimon. And this is the Tana that says the Tanya we learned on Braita. If you found them one after another, you do not have 4 amot until 8. Yeshem din tfusa. So it's a din de tfusa, right? That means because they're so close together, we're not going to suspect that maybe it's considered beta kvarot, and therefore you're allowed to move them from one place to another. But you have to take tfusatan. Tfusatan means that they're the dirt which is with them, you have to take it with them. Okay, but it's not considered a beta kvarot. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says the name of Shimon, right? But Yochai, roin etam tzayim kilu enam. We're going to look at the middle ones as if that they're not here. Ashad and the rest of them, we're going, meaning the other 2, mitztarfim, they're going to combine from 4 amot until 8 amot. So says the Gemara, why do you say it's going to be Rabbi Shimon? Let's see the Seifa. The Seifa says you have to check another 20 amot. So one more time, you found 3. Once you find, you have to check within a 20 amot radius. Okay. Now when he comes and he says who is this now? So he says, if you're going to tell me it's Rabbi Shimon, it's going to become 22 amot. Why is it going to become 22 amot? He says, because each one of the 2 me'arot is 8 amot. So therefore, if the orech hachatzer in between them is going to be 6 amot, so therefore, it's going to become 22. It's not going to be, he says over here, right? For sure, it's going like that. Shita, he says, because it's like 8 plus 6 plus 8. He says it's not true, but if it's going to be it should become 22, not the 20 that we just mentioned. Now, if you're going to tell me it's going to be Rabbanan, according to Shitat of the rabbis, he says, it's going to be 18. Why is it going to be 18? He says because you have 2 of 6 amot, each one, and then you have another one of 6 amot, right, of the chatzer. So it's 3 times 6 is 18. Okay? So therefore, he comes and he says, right, so who is it then? What's going on exactly? So he says like this. He says, he says, we're on the bottom of Kuf Bet Amud Aleph, on the bottom. So he says, each one of them is going to be 8 amot, and then the orech is going to be 6. So it's 2 times 8 is 16, and then the other one is going to be 6. So 16 plus 6 is 22. Ma? So umideha balachsona hanami, leolam, really be'emet, it's Rabbanan. Really be'emet, we're talking about Shitat Rabbanan, which is going to be the 18 amot. Remember, it's 3 times 6, because each one was 6 amot, right? So therefore, if it's going to be 18 amot, so then why do we say you need 20 amot? So he says, you have to check also, right, balachsona, right, which is going to be balachson, in order to check well. Remember, balachson is diagonal. Remember that whenever you have diagonal, whenever you have something which is going to be straight, right, we always said that you have to do 1 and
2.5, 2.5. 1.25.
1.25, exactly, which is basically going to be one extra, right? The 2/5, right? It's not 0.25, it's 0.4, right? But it's 2/5. 2/5. 2/5 is 40%, 0.4. Okay. So says the Gemara, umeha mideha belachsona, hanami belachsona. He says, 1 second, if you have to already start checking everything belachson, so everything has to be belachson. So if you're adding a lachson, so if you're going to add 40% to 18, how much does that give you, Richard? Exactly. Why does it give you 22? Because, yes. So says the Gemara one more time. If right now you're doing diagonal in 1, you should do diagonal in 2. So if you said diagonal in 1, changed it from 18 to 20, now that you're going to do diagonal in 2, it's going to become 20 to 22. So answers the Gemara, 1, chada belachson amrinan. Trei belachson lo amrinan. You're only going to say that one of the me'arot are going to be belachson, but not 2. Meaning you're not going to say that it's going to be twice. That you don't say that. Right? But they weren't mahmir. They weren't stringent in such a form. Okay, Kuvbet Amubet, 102b. Rav Shisha bered Ravidi Amar Leolam really be'emet, it's Rabbi Shimon he. Right? And remember, Rabbi Shimon said that it should be 22. The Achama is what are we dealing with? Benifle, we're talking about Nefalim. Since it's a Nefel, so therefore you don't need 22, you only need 20. So really be'emet, it's not Rabbanan, right? Really be'emet, it's going to be, right, the Rabbi Shimon. Okay, so says the Gemara, right? He says, 1 second, if you're going to tell me that we're talking about Nefalim, so therefore it's going to become 18, not 20. Right? Again, you're going down. So answers the Gemara, the same concept, but the other way around. We're only going to say that there's going to be one, right? One of Nefalim, but not 2 of Nefalim. You understand? Meaning, we're not going to say that the 6 in the Me'arot or Nefalim, only 3. We only do the 1. We're not going to say that in 2. So we're going to ask a contradiction between Rabbanan and Rabbanan and Rabbi Shimon and Shimon. The time is we learned in the Mishnah, Kerem Hanatu'a Al Pachom Arba'amot. When you have a kerem which is going to be planted on 4 amot, Rabbi Shimon says it's not going to be considered a kerem. Why? Because it's too close together to be considered a vineyard. Meaning, since it's too close, it's not a vineyard. Chachamim say, "Ah, there's a kerem." Why? We look at the middle ones as if they're not there. So therefore we come and we say kasha Rabbanan, the kasha Shimon. So it's a stira. It's a contradiction between Rabbanan and Rabbanan because the Chachamim are the ones saying that we're not going to see the metim, right? The extra ones kilo that they're not there. And here we're saying that yes. And it's questioning Rabbi Shimon because Rabbi Shimon is the one that said that we look at the middle ones as if they're not here. And here we're saying the exact opposite.
Why are they going to group that, the middle one?
There's the Gemara. Shimon the Shimon lakashia. He says from Shimon to Shimon, it's not going to be a question. Nobody's going to come and start planting vineyards in order to uproot the vineyards. Here, sometimes it does happen, right? That, for example, let's say it's Ben Hashmashot, right? And therefore it's Mamash, Erev Shabbat Min Chashicha. They don't have the time. They're just going to bury him anywhere. And then afterwards, they're going to come and they're going to start moving him around. Meaning, to do with a vineyard, you're not going to plant a vineyard in order to come and take it away and start moving it somewhere else. But to do with a burial plot, yeah, maybe you would. The question, it's not a question. He says, since it's a minuval for the men, meaning that it's a disgrace. You came and you buried him so close to somebody else, so therefore it's not considered a kever. A burial plot has to be something done bekavod, and if it's not going to be done bekavod, so it's not considered a burial plot. But there we're going to say, right? Which one of the gifanim is going to grow good? Shapir. Or the low shapir, so then it's going to be for etzim. What does that mean? Sometimes it can happen. You're going to come and you're going to plant. And what happens is that you planted a whole bunch of vineyards and sometimes they're too close to each other, but you didn't care. You know what you didn't care? Very simple. Whatever grows good, you leave it. Whatever grows bad, you take it down and use it as firewood. So if you purposely did it that way, in order because you want to take your chances, right? You're playing your cards. So you want to get everything. This one was good. This one's not good. Boom, take it out. Right? And that's what you're going to do. So Hadran Alach Hamocher Pero. Okay, so Perek Shvi. We're Perek Shvi, 7th chapter. We're starting the new Mishnah. We're only doing the Mishnah. Mishnah on the 7th chapter, Kuvbet Amubet. Says the chapter 7. Okay, Hayusham nekaim amukim asarat tfachim. Imagine right now I'm going to sell you a bet kur afar, which is, remember, this is land which is fitting for planting, right? And then what happened was that there was going to be in the land, there was going to be like a hole. The kaim is mamash a hole, which is going to be the depth of 10 tfachim, or slaim guim asarat tfachim, or there's stones, but the stones are 10 tfachim high. Enan nimdadin ima. They're not going to be counted as part of it, right? Why? Because in the day I can't plant there, so therefore it's not considered part of the. So therefore, even though you come and you make a measurement, this is what you get. Sorry, take that out. You have to remove, right, the bekaim or the slaim or whatever it is that you're doing. Pachom mikan, if it's going to be less than 10 tefachim, whether it's in height or in depth, it is going to be counted as it. He doesn't have to add it more. But if he told him the kivet kurafar like a bet kurafar. They are going to be considered part of it.